A very warm welcome to Computer Science Patines. Let us start our lecture for today. Beta, yesterday we have discussed about recursion and we have discussed a program also based on the same concept. So today also we will be exploring another program, and these programs are very important from the point of view of your board exams. Okay, so you must take care of the concepts that you are getting them very clearly in your mind. Okay, because if these programs are not clear to you, then you will not be able to perform these programs in your board practical, right? So it is fruitful for your from your theoretical point of view as well as your practical point of view. Okay, so they are very important. The concept is simple. If you are understanding one program, then surely you will be able to grasp all other programs as well, right? I hope you have revised the previous lecture also. So today we'll be exploring another new program, and beta, one thing more I just want to add. Yesterday's program that we have discussed in yesterday's lecture and the whatever program we'll be discussing here in this tutorial will be a part of your practical file. You need to perform these two programs on your laptop and keep the output safe, take screenshots and paste them in your practical file. Okay, you have to put these programs at the end where you left your previous file. Means in holidays homework I have passed on I think 14 to 15 programs. SQL will be put at the last. Okay, SQL को भी आप पीछे छोड़ देंगे. Means last program up to we have done library, creating a Python library. After that you will include these programs. Okay, SQL will be adding up at the very last of the practical file. Okay, fine. So firstly, after your creation of the Python library, you need to add these recursion programs. Okay, and keep on adding whatever new chapters we are adding, and we will paste those last, means your SQL programs at the very last of the practical file. Okay, so keep them at the very last. Rest whatever programs we are covering day to day, that will be added up to your practical file. So keep on performing them on your Python software, right? So today's program again is it is based on recursion. So what is recursion? We have read when a function calls itself, that is called recursion. And what is a function? Function is a self-contained block of statements that is basically designed to perform a specific task. See, it is not compulsory at all to make a function. Without making function we can do program, but why we are making function? We have discussed it yesterday also, to shorten up your program's length and to not to write the same code again and again, right? it in this way we are saving our time. Okay, we have done certain type of work and we have kept how it is to be done. The again and again we will not be searching out how it is to be done. So it saves our time, it saves the length of the program. Okay, processing time also get reduced. So there are many benefits of using function in a program, but without function also we can do it. Now what is the utility of recursive function? See, there is no need to call that function again and again. See, I want you to give a test and now you are planning your test yourself. I don't have to interfere. So my overhead will be reduced. Similarly, a function has to be called to perform a certain activity, but if that function call is made recursive, means by default it will get executed, it will call the function ultimately uh, till it reaches your desired result. So recursion is to avoid calling the function again and again. It will call itself automatically, right? And up to where it should call, till you reach the base condition. Yesterday we have discussed the base condition. So every program must have a recursive statement that is like this. Okay, this is your recursive statement, and a end base statement, we can say this is your base statement. See, this will tell you where to terminate. Okay, if this n is equals to 0, then finally we must know the value of the base statement, base case we can say. Okay, so let us start this program. So our aim is to write a recursive function to print the string backwards. So we'll be passing a string to it. String is a collection of characters. So these strings characters will be passed to a particular function. That name we have taken BP. Okay, and it will print the string in reverse direction. Means what we are trying to do, we are calculating the reverse of a given string. So string niche you can see he has inputted like news. Okay, so string what he is going to enter is news. You can give your own string, whatever string you will be passing, it will reverse that list. Okay, so what will be the reverse of news? SWEN, right? So we will be going in depth, talking in depth about this program. So through recursion we are doing it. So recursion may we will be generating a recursive call, and it will call the function again and again till the whole string gets reversed. Okay, so initially the program execution will start from here. This is a comment, this will not be read out, it will be ignored, right? So this second line will come into execution. This is a function definition. Name of the function is BP and def is to define the function, and we know a function definition body is read only when the function call is there. Until and unless we are not getting a function call. Where is function call? Here. How I am identifying this is a function call? With the name and the parameters inside that particular function, right? So firstly it will, the program execution will start from here. This red line will be read only, and all other lines under this function definition will be ignored for the time being. It will come into execution only when your function call is there, right? So after executing or running this line number 2, it will directly come to ninth point. Actually ninth is again a comment, so it will be skipped. So execution will actually start from 10th. Okay, so here also he has given a summary. Initially line number 2 will be executed, then 10th, and then 11th. Okay, so line number 2 function definition is read and the body of the function definition is ignored. Okay, then execution will start from 10th line, right? So s is a variable which is going to store the input of the string that you are going to provide it, right? So input function is taking the input. Fine. So s is equals to input function. What input you have given here? News. Okay, so after the input has been taken, it is stored in s, and this s has been provided here, right? So this s contains news now, and length, this length function is calculating the length of the given string, that is news. News is 4-letter string, so length of s is 4, right? Length function we are using, right? You remember we have discussed this also previously. So 4 minus 1 is 3. So we are going to, why we are doing minus 1? Reason behind it is we know the index of the string will start from 0. So if it is 0, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, there is no fourth, right? So length in total is 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, but there is no character present on the fourth index. Okay, I hope you have got this point clearly. So length of the string has been calculated, then we have deducted 1. Why? Because the index of the string starts from 0, right? Okay, then this is a function call. Function call, there are two parameters, one the string itself and then the index of the last. Okay, so s is s comma 3. This is a function call. How do I know this is a function call? Because this is the name of the function. How do the interpreter know this is the function name? Because initially he has met a definition where it was given ki BP type of function will be there having two arguments. So now when the function call has been encountered, it automatically knows that this was the function only, right? So it will, whenever the function call is encountered, we move to function definition. So we will come here. Okay, actually I will not come here, the interpreter will come here for the execution of the function definition. Now the function definition statements will be read out. Initially they are ignored, I told you earlier also. So def bp, okay, so sg comma n. So sg contains news, n contains 3. We have just calculated it here, right? So if n is greater than 0, n is greater than 0. So n is 3 here, we have just seen. Okay, 3 is greater than 0, right? So it is, condition is right. So the body of if statement will be executed. So it will print sgn. N stands for, n is 3. Okay, actually the complete string it is, and after that it will go to this statement, this statement actually. So again bp sg, sg is the base address of the string. This string is being passed here, n minus 1. N is 3 here, so 3 minus 1 will become 2. So again this is a function call. This function call will take you where? To the function definition, right? So when you come here, you are directed here, right? I hope you are getting me. So this function, this is a function call. Again it will take you to the function definition. Now arguments sg and n minus 1. N is 3, 3 minus 1, it will be 2. It will be 2 now. Okay, so again when you will check 2 is greater than 0, 2 is greater than 0, again it is true. It will get inside, it will print, and it will again form a new one. 3 minus, this time it will be 2 minus 1. Okay, that will again be a function call. Then again you will be directed here, right? So up to where you will move, keep on moving like this only. When this n is greater than, till the n is greater than 0. Okay, see abhi 2 minus 1 is 2 minus 1 is 1, right? So it is a function call. You will go again here. Next time what will happen? This is 1 now. 1 is greater than 0, right? So still it is right, so it will go inside and print. Then now sg 1 minus 1, 1 minus 1 is 0. So again this is a function call. You will go here. Okay, now n is 3, oh sorry 0. So you will keep on moving like this. When n becomes 0, so n is 0 greater than 0, 0 greater than 0, this condition is now false. Now it will not go here, it will come after this, it will come here. So when n becomes 0, it will print the string, right? So how this is working actually, after this, see, after the complete function definition has been executed, then it will come back to the function call from where it was generated. Okay, so let us understand this concept with the help of diagram. See again, this is also something we have done. See initially how it was there. What was the first step? Initially 2 was executed, then 10, then 11. After 11 we went to this 2 number. Okay, after 2, 3 was executed, 4 was executed, 5 was executed, and 5 has taken you to 2 again, right? And this time n was 2, right? Finally n will be 1, then n will be 0. Firstly it was 3, then 2, then 1, then 0. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 times this function definition will be executed. So you can check it here also. So first time this 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, see here n was 3. Okay, when n will become 2, again 2, 3, 4, 5. As it comes to 5, as it comes to this fifth line, it is directed to 2 again, right? Fine. So this time n is 2, this time n is 1, and this time n is 0. When n becomes 0, then this statement is not executed, then elif is executed, right? So this is your base case. This is your base case. Okay, base case means the termination case. Okay, this will allow you to stop. Okay, if this base case is missing, then the recursive function will be indefinite. It will not stop at all. That we don't want actually, right? Fine, it is. Let us see this with the help of diagram also. One more important thing he is telling, what happens if a recursive method never reaches to the base case, means if you have not defined the right base case, then what will happen? It will become indefinite. Actually not. Why? Because there is a limit. It however limits the stack to a particular height so that no program eats up too much memory. Okay, so that no program eats up too much memory. So there is a limit to your stack. Why I'm saying the word stack? Because the data which is stored in recursion is in the form of stack. Stack, we have yesterday also we have discussed the principle of stack is LIFO. LIFO stands for last in first out. Last in first out. Like you have suitcase, whatever material you are putting inside is firstly placed at the bottom. Okay, the next element that you will be placing will be at the top, and the third element next you will be placing will be at the very top. So it will keep on moving, right? So the first last element will be the first who will come out. If you want to remove 2, so 4 will come out first, then 3 will come out, then the second can come out. So last in first out. So this principle is of stack. Okay, you must keep this thing in mind. And your recursion program is always implemented on a stack whose principle is LIFO. Okay, this is the structure of stack. So if for that there is a maximum recursion limit. Okay, if the recursion is exceeding that limit, the program will automatically get stopped. Okay, so enter a string. So it is entered news. First BP call made from where? It was from the main. Okay, in main you can see you have made this call. So what are the two elements? BPS is news and this is 3. So same you can see here. This is your main part. First call has been initiated. Value is news and n is 3. Okay, length have you have calculated na, length minus 1, that is 3. This way you have calculated. So when this function call is executed, it will take you to the function definition. Where is the function definition? At the top of it. Okay, so here again the two arguments will be passed up, sg and n. Okay, so further you know, if either if will be executed or elif will be executed up to when until n reaches 0. This if will be executed. When n will become 0, then elif will be executed. Until n is greater than 0, if will be executed, otherwise elif will be executed. Okay, so you can see the diagram also. So this is your function call. Okay, here this news is passed and news and n3 is passed to the function definition. This is your function definition inside this block. Okay, n is greater than 0, right? So if wala part will get executed. This is if wala part. Fine. So print sg, it will print sg news. See, this is 3. sg3 is this. Okay, so this s will get printed here, right? Now after that you can see function call again. You can see after this print statement, what you have seen, this function call again, sg n minus 1. Now n will become, earlier it was 3, so 3 minus 1 will become 2, right? So again sg and 2 will be given as input to the next function call, right? You can see it here, sg 2, right? sg is news and n is 2 here. Still it is greater than n 0. It is greater than 0. So if statement will again be executed. So sg2 refers to what? W. sg2 refers to what? W. So this w will get executed and printed. Okay? Initially s has been printed, now w will be printed, and then again a function call, that is bg comma 1. How 1? Because it is n minus 1. N is 2 here, so n minus 1 is 1. So when the function call comes, it will take you the function definition. So how it is being represented? So inside this we have got this, inside this we have got this. Okay, you can just see, you can say एक रूम के अंदर दूसरा रूम, एक छोटा रूम, उससे छोटा रूम, ठीक है. फाइनली एक लास्ट रूम होगा जिसको हम बेस केस बोलेंगे, राइट, एंड दैट विल टर्मिनेट, जिसके अंदर कोई और फर्दर रूम नहीं होगा, राइट. सो अभी आप पहले बड़े कमरे से छोटे कमरे से, फिर एक और छोटे कमरे से एक और छोटे कमरे में जा रहे हैं, लेकिन उस छोटे कमरे, सबसे छोटे के अंदर कोई कमरा नहीं है, तो आप वापस कैसे आएंगे? उस छोटे वाले कमरे से फिर एक उससे बड़े वाले कमरे में, फिर उससे बड़े वाले कमरे में, इस तरीके से हम चल रहे हैं बेटा. सो मेन से हम गए थे इस स्टेटमेंट पे, इस स्टेटमेंट से हम गए यहाँ पे, इससे हम यहाँ पहुंच गए, राइट. सो एस जी इज इक्वल्स टू news and n is 1 here, still n is greater than 0, so what it will print? sg1. sg1 is indicating to what? E. You can see sg1, this is sg0, sg1, sg2, sg3, right? So now what will get printed from here? You can see it will be printed E. Okay, so E has been printed, and again a call is, function call, again it is generating. How? Now sg, so you know the array you are having, how 0 has been obtained, n minus 1, n is 1, 1 minus 1 is 0. Okay, so this time input is bgsg0, bpsg0. Okay, so after that it is continuing here. Now this base case will be read out, because n is greater than 0 is not true, n is equal to 0. This is elif wala case. Okay, this was if wala case. So this has become false now, so this will get executed and it will finally print sg0, that is n. sg0, that is n. This will get printed here. Fine. And ultimately when all this is your base case, it has been reached here, so it will allow the you to terminate. So firstly this will wind up. Okay, from this room you will enter to this room, from this room you will enter to this room, and from this room you will enter to this room. Finally you will enter in the main back from where the call was initiated, from where the call was initiated, from here. Okay, finally you will reach here. Okay, so I hope this program is clear. Beta, do practice and keep revising the concept in your mind, because if you are not knowing how it is working, then you will not be able to generate a new program of your own. Okay, this type of program are always there in your theoretical paper and in your practical paper. I hope you have understood the concept. Tomorrow again we will be discussing another example of the same, that also should be covered in your practical file. Okay beta, thank you so much.